In a world that's just jam-packed with choices and tons of conflicting advice, how do we ever figure out what the right thing to do is? That question can feel completely paralyzing. Well, believe it or not, thousands of years ago, on a battlefield of all places, a warrior asked that exact same question. And the answer he got, it became this timeless guide to living a life of purpose. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today: the philosophy of Karma Yoga, a powerful answer to that age-old question, all found in the Bhagavad Gita. So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with the crisis that kicks off this whole incredible conversation. Then we'll bust the myth of inaction, which is super interesting. We'll look at how to reframe your work as a kind of sacred offering and why even the wisest people out there keep on working. From there, we'll zero in on the real enemy holding us back. And finally, we'll unpack Krishna's battle plan for conquering it. It's going to be great. Okay, so picture this. We're on the brink of a massive, world-changing battle. There's this incredible warrior. His name is Arjuna, and he's facing a duty that just feels impossible. So he turns to his guide, Krishna, with a question that, honestly, still echoes today. And that is the heart of his problem, right? Doesn't that hit home for all of us? If sitting back and gaining knowledge is the highest path, why do we have to get our hands dirty with all the messy, hard, and sometimes really painful work of actual life? Why not just sit and think all day? Wow, you can just feel the desperation in his voice. He's totally overwhelmed, and he's begging for just one single clear path. It's this raw, honest plea for a straight answer that really opens the door for Krishna to lay out one of the most profound philosophies of action ever. So, Krishna's first answer is not what you'd expect. It's completely counterintuitive. He doesn't praise the idea of doing nothing. No, instead, he just tears the whole idea apart. He basically argues that a life without action isn't just a bad idea, it's literally impossible. And this is so crucial. The choice we have isn't between acting and not acting. We are always acting. Right now, your body's breathing, your mind is thinking. We're all helplessly, constantly in motion because of nature itself. So the real question isn't if we should act, it's how. And this is the incredible solution Krishna offers: Karma Yoga. It's not about what you're doing. It's about the consciousness you bring to what you're doing. It's the art of doing your duty, being fully engaged, but without letting yourself get emotionally hijacked by the results, whether you call them a success or a failure. Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this distinction. On one side, you have the person who looks spiritual. Maybe they're outwardly renouncing things, but inside, their mind is still just obsessed with desires. That person is called a hypocrite. But on the other side, you have the karma yogi. They're active, they're in the world, but they've mastered their mind, and they act without attachment. And that person is considered truly superior. So if we have to act and we're trying not to get all tangled up in the results, how do we do it? Well, Krishna completely reframes the whole idea of action. He says it's not some burden we have to carry for our own personal gain. It's actually a vital contribution to a huge cosmic system. The key idea here is a word called yajna. We often translate it as sacrifice, but it's much bigger than that. It means doing any action as an offering for a higher purpose. And when we work with that kind of spirit, our actions stop being a source of stress and anxiety and actually become a source of freedom. And check this out. This shows how our small actions fit into this massive, beautiful whole. The Gita describes this amazing cycle. Our duties, when we do them as an offering, as yashna, they actually sustain the cosmic order. This then produces rain, which grows our food, which in turn sustains all of us. Your individual work, my individual work, it literally keeps the world turning. And the warning that comes with this is pretty stark. To live only for your own selfish pleasure, to just take from this cycle without ever giving back, well, the Gita says that life is essentially lived in vain. It's a really powerful call to fund a purpose that's bigger than just what we want in the moment. Okay, so this brings up a pretty logical question, right? What about people who are already enlightened? Do they get a pass? Do they still need to do all this work and perform their duties? And the answer is a huge yes. They absolutely keep working. Not because they have anything to gain from it, they don't, but they do it for the welfare of the world. They act to set an example. And the logic is actually pretty simple. If the most wise and respected people suddenly just stopped contributing, it would cause total confusion and chaos for everybody else who's looking to them for guidance. All right, so all of this sounds great in theory, right? Act without attachment, work for the good of everyone. Awesome. But let's be real, we all know it is not that easy. So why is it so hard? Well, that's exactly what Arjuna asks next, and it's a huge turning point. You know that feeling? He's asking about that inner force that just seems to hijack our best intentions. The one that pushes us to do things we know are wrong, as if by force. We've all been there. And Krishna, he gives this force a name. The enemy has a name, Kama. And this isn't just about wanting something simple. This is an insatiable, all-consuming kind of desire. It's the engine behind that constant feeling that we just need one more thing to finally be happy. Krishna calls out this fiery, never-satisfied craving as the real root of all wrongdoing. So, how does this enemy actually work? Well, Krishna uses this really powerful set of metaphors to explain. He says that desire covers up our true knowledge, just like smoke covers a fire. Think about that. The bright, clear flame of your wisdom, it's still there, but it's being choked and hidden by all this smoke, making it totally impossible to see things as they really are. And for his final image, he says it's like a thick layer of dust on a mirror. The reflection of your true self, it's supposed to be crystal clear, but this coating of desire just distorts everything, and it stops you from knowing who you truly are. Okay, so we've identified the enemy. Now for the most important part, the battle plan. How do we actually defeat this powerful inner foe? Well, Krishna lays out a clear, step-by-step strategy for us. The whole game plan is based on understanding this hierarchy of control. See, at the bottom, you've got your senses, always pulling you out into the world. Just above them is the mind, which is like this chaotic processor for everything the senses are bringing in. But here's the secret weapon. Superior to that reactive mind is your intellect, your ability to reason and make deliberate choices. And even above that is your true self. The whole battle is won by using each higher level to direct and master the one below it. And this is it, the final command, the ultimate call to action. By knowing that your true self is higher than even your intellect, you can use that higher spiritual intelligence to steady your wild mind. That's where your power comes from. And from that place of inner strength, you can finally conquer that formidable enemy we call desire. So the real battle, it's not out there somewhere. It's inside you. And this philosophy gives you the roadmap to victory.